Hello, it's December the 9th. This is Hannah Storm. It's Writing Advent Day 9, therefore, and time for a story. This story I'm going to read today is a particularly special one to me. I began it at the Arvon Writing Centre, Lumbank in Yorkshire, during a writing week with the fabulous writers Vanessa Gebbie and Cunnan Jones, and it was Vanessa who introduced me to flash fiction. This story is called An Eye to Keep Them Safe at Sea. I pocket a smooth stone. I'll learn to skim it this time. It sits in my palm, warm like a living thing. The fading sun has flattened the landscape. It's quiet. Only the cicadas and the sea surface my memories. When I was little, my parents brought us to Lesbos every summer. Lunch in the taverna by the bay, while Mum and Dad toasted their fortune with ouzo. Manos, the taverna owner, knew exactly how to keep us happy. He brought me and Matty baklava, and we would cradle each sweet, brittle layer in our mouths until they melted. We were left picking the nuts from our teeth, swinging our legs over the harbour wall. There we watched the men moor their blue and white boats, each painted with an eye to keep them safe at sea. They'd unload their nets, splashing fish like silver shards into wooden crates, and Matty would watch me watching them. It would be the same scene every day, and every day my little sister would gawp at me and giggle through gums glued with Greek honey. Her eyes were as wide as the wands on the boats when I whispered the stories of the ancient gods. There was one tale she would ask for again and again, the one about the goddess who watched over sailors. She saved Odysseus, wrapping him in her shawl after his boat was wrecked by Poseidon. Before she became immortal, her name was Ino, and she was a real-life princess. And to Matty, that was even more exciting than being a goddess. Because she was still only small, I didn't tell Matty the bit about how Ino had thrown herself and her child into the sea to escape her husband when Hera turned him crazy. I didn't tell her that after she drowned, her name wasn't Ino anymore. Leucothea was hard enough for me to say, age 12. At 4, Matty had no chance. Still, she loved the name Ino, and whenever she heard it, Matty would cackle with laughter and say, I know, even though she didn't know. When she got bored of listening and I got bored of telling stories, we would clamber down off the rocky boulders and jagged stones to the shale that slipped beneath my bare feet, and I'd squeal when the water tickled my toes. Matty ran into the water without hesitation, forever wanting to see how far we could go before we could no longer touch the stony floor. In my pocket, I tightened my grip around the one stone, wondering how long it took to surface from the waters. Memories mist my eyes, my mind. Darkness blurs the corners. I push the stone down further, start to run, but night comes fast. The village lights are pinpricks. My phone's torch spins a shadow across the path. I can hear sea, cicadas. I remember the crystal clink as Manas would pour my parents one last ouzo, and the yamas that used to signal all was well in the world. Then the screams. I run faster, heading for the harbour, but I don't recognise this place anymore. 30 years have changed more than just me. Shards of shale rub my toes. I run, slip, slip. My front foot hits something, jolts me, and I fall, shielding my phone, not my body. My right palm stings. I touch my knee, blood through torn trousers. I know the tide is coming in, and I want to shout to Matty to come back, but it's no use. I clasp my nose, inhale the metal of blood, not memory. I feel in my pocket. I've lost my stone. There's no way I'll find it now. I could use my dying torch to search for the one in a million. No, it's too late. My phone flickers, catches the edge of something. A collection of cast-off clothing, a towel from a drunk tourist, a pile of the orange and black life jackets found along this coast now. I edge closer. There are 2 tiny feet tucked underneath. Closer still. Blood pulses my ears. I bend down, not too close. There are tendrils of hair, a face pale in the arc of phone lights. I turn it away. Of course, the child is asleep. It's long past her bedtime. What a strange place to sleep. half on her haunches, head to one side. She looks peaceful. I daren't shine the light too close in case I wake her. Don't be so ridiculous. Who would let their child sleep here? Mum and Dad would never have let us alone on the beach, and she's much younger than I was then. It's getting cold now. I wonder if she is. The stones will keep her warm for now, and I don't want to disturb her. But just in case, I reach into my rucksack, pull out my pashmina, and lay it carefully over her. She's smaller than I thought, and it easily covers her body twice. Do I lift her head and fashion a pillow? No, I don't want to disturb her. I'll lie beside her until she wakes. She'll be scared. I want her mum. I'll help her find her when morning comes. And yet she's so quiet. All I can hear is my own breathing, fast and shallow. Someone starts crying. The darkness answers with the distant howl of a dog. When she was tiny, and I thought I was so much older than I really was, Matty was terrified of dogs and the dark. I close my eyes, imagine the boats, their eyes wide, watching over the people on the water. Don't worry, little one. I'm here. I'm here.